surprising, invigorating, disruptive, inspiring, captivating. These are just a few of the terms we heard when asking audiences immediately following performances they witnessed last season. This instant reaction gets to the heart of what it means to be present, to be there in person, interacting with some of the best performers in the world in the extraordinary transaction between artist and audience. This emotional dialogue is why we exist, affecting, teaching, and helping individuals grow. This year, the season's performances go even one step beyond, but only if you choose to be present.
The Choral Union Series for the 2013-14 season is defined by many things, but the display of real artistic achievement, craft, and strong point of view, strong artistic point of view is always something I privilege above anything else. And certainly every performer, every ensemble, every artist that's included in the 13-14 Choral Union Series has a really great, strong point of view about the music they're going to perform for us. It was clear in the 11-12 season, after Apollo's Fire was first presented by UMS in Hill Auditorium, that they would immediately need to come back. And we went to something that's as tried and true and well known to classical music audiences, Bach's Brandenburg Concertos. And everybody loves this music, but when you come into the hall and hear it in the hands of Apollo's Fire, it will sound different. Plus, it's just really fun to sit down and visit an old friend. And the Bach Brandenburg Concertos are old friends. UMS's 2013-14 season also includes the return of the great violinist Guidon Kramer. And not only will Guidon be playing as a soloist, but he'll be joined by an orchestra that he helped found called Camerata Baltica. The last time they were here, they did a program entirely of the works of Alfred Schnittke and Shostakovich. This time, they're going to focus in on works of Shostakovich, some of them arrangements for violin and chamber orchestra, and also feature the work of Benjamin Britten.
Well, you know, we've been developing a great relationship with Michael Tilson Thomas and the San Francisco Symphony for some time. This is a very special orchestra with whom we could do special things. And in the past, we've had them here for the American Mavericks Festival. When this orchestra comes, they sit down, they get engaged with the community, they give back tremendously.
This season's dance series is really exciting for me. We've definitely got some of our favorite companies that many of you have seen and know and love, but we also have a few debuts and some really large-scale work and some that will be a little bit smaller and more intimate. So I'm really excited to see both sides of dance in this upcoming season.
One of the real breakout hits from 2 seasons ago was when we closed the season with Angoulême Préjocaj's Snow White. My only concern was that people left the theater and they thought they knew what Ballet Préjocage and Angoulême Préjocage were all about. And I wanted to bring back a work very soon after Snow White that showed the other side of Angoulême Préjocage. Company Kafig is a collaboration between an Algerian choreographer named Mourad Merzouki and a company of male dancers from Brazil that put on display not only the choreographer's really unique and wonderful ideas and approach to synthesizing hip-hop, street dance, and Brazilian social dance, but also the athleticism and unbelievable abilities of this company of dancers.
Wendy Whalen is one of New York City Ballet's principal dancers, and the Restless Creature program, she's named it Restless Creature, in that I think she's starting to feel a little bit restless and wanting to see what can she do outside of ballet as a dancer. The pieces are all duets for the choreographers Brian Brooks, Joshua Beamish, Alejandro Cerruto, and Kyle Abraham. So I think we'll be able as audience members to witness lots of different chemistry between Wendy and each choreographer. Hubbard Street was absolutely the company that made me fall in love with dance. Hubbard Street is a repertory company, so they present works by many different choreographers. This program will be a little bit different in that it's one full evening work of Alejandro Cerruto's work. Alejandro is Hubbard's resident choreographer. The piece is a really big deal for the company. It's their 35th anniversary this season. The other thing that's really, really beautiful about 1000 Pieces is the use of water on stage. There's mist curtains and kind of a light, shimmery pool of water on the stage that we see the dancers dance through, and it's stunning.
The 13-14 UMS Global Music Series presents an eclectic array of artists from around the world, representing Afro-Cuban music directly from Havana, fascinating music from Spain, Sufi mysticism from Pakistan, West African innovations from Mali, all within the UMS series in Ann Arbor. In March, UMS has the honor of presenting Asif Ali Khan Qawwali music of Pakistan. Qawwali is the devotional music of Sufi tradition. Asif Ali Khan is the single most promising qawwal since the world-renowned Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan. While Asif Ali Khan's music comes out of the 600-year-old tradition, it still is resonant for contemporary audiences because of its transcendent and emotional impact. would be hard to identify an ensemble more exciting than the Pedrito Martinez group. Pedrito's quartet is a quartet that lives for the music. It brings a joy of life that's unquestionable. This concert presents a unique and special double bill and will be the first time Pedrito Martinez Group and Alfredo Rodriguez Trio appear sharing the stage. The Alfredo Rodriguez Trio very much lives at the intersection of Afro-Cuban music and conversational jazz.
Quiero más sin fin, para no tener nunca que terminar.
Buika hails from Palma de Mallorca. She's a Spanish singer, and she is producing and manifesting some of the most beautiful global music. She's pulling music from flamenco traditions and jazz traditions primarily, but really encapsulates music from all around the world. Fatoumata was actually born in the Ivory Coast. She currently resides in France and takes Wassoulou music, which comes from southern Mali, and blends it with modern music from around the world in Europe. Basekou Kouyaté and Ngoni Ba are musical stars in their home country of Mali and have really become rock stars internationally. Basekou Kouyaté and Fatoumata Diawara come together in a double bill concert entitled One Night in Bamako, representing the highest level of music making in the capital city of Mali.
Next season's Chamber Art Series will be the 51st in Rackham Auditorium. And so as we start the second half of the century of chamber arts, we're back to basics. There's nothing more central to the entire chamber music repertoire than the string quartet. And I'm pretty excited to put together a whole season of 7 events that explore everything from the most traditional string quartet repertoire to extreme experimentation. Brooklyn Rider is charting new territory in the world of chamber music. They form the string nucleus of Yo-Yo Ma's Silk Road Ensemble, so they've actually been in Ann Arbor on 3 separate occasions. But this is the first time that they'll be here as a string quartet proper, in collaboration with the great banjo virtuoso Bella Fleck. One of the great things about this season's Chamber Art Series focused on the string quartet is, of course, we're introducing ensembles that we've never presented before, debuts. One of the offerings that I'm most excited about is the Aerial Quartet, performing with really the great concert cellist Elisa Weilerstein. I'm really excited about Elisa Weilerstein's participation in this collaboration with the Aerial Quartet. I think because she made such a huge impression on me when she performed 3 seasons ago in Hill Auditorium. In thinking about string quartet music in the United States, there's a quartet that stands out, and that's the Kronos Quartet. One of the programs that they've put together is their take on the most renegade music. And they, of course, are the ultimate renegades within the world of string quartet playing. I mean, they saw themselves from the very get-go as artists who wanted to break with the mold.
She knows nothing of the strain he suffers from the moment he invented the punishment.
Is it possible to make someone do something they don't want to do?
One thing that really stands out for me in the 13-14 theater season for UMS is just this idea of craft and a commitment and an upholding of tradition, but in really modern ways. So in Bullet Catch, the audience is going to see a magic show put on by a guy named William Wonder. And so William Wonder is giving you this great show. He's also giving you a little bit of a history lesson about a very specific magic trick called the bullet catch.
Are you going to do a bullet catch tonight? Yes. Have you got a bad feeling about the show tonight? Yes. Do you believe that free will is just an illusion?
In this production of Bullet Catch, William Wonder is telling you about a past instance of a magician doing this trick in 1912, during which he died. Then William Wonder, the magician that we the audience, get to interact with, is himself, you find out, going to do the bullet catch for us. And it's going to be an Ann Arbor audience member who gets to pull the trigger.
Ladies and gentlemen, I require a volunteer.
The season opener is Britain's Complicité, and in this instance they're collaborating with the Setagaya Public Theater to create a theater work out of 2 short stories by Tanizaki called Shunkin. It incorporates performance, music, movement, puppetry, and their signature electronic media video. This piece is very quiet and simple and very open-ended. And it's one of the joys for audience members because the open-endedness or the opportunity for multiple meaning means that the work has just begun when you leave the theater.
From Tanzania, yes. And it's called Malaika. It means my angel. And this is dedicated to each and every one of you out there who can never get what they want in life.
Definitely the event of our theater season this year is our presentation of a work by the legendary theater director and artist Peter Brook.
Malaika, nakupenda malaika.
The piece has an unbelievable musical narrative that's running behind the action. So the music is performed by live musicians throughout the course of the play. the end of the day, I related very much to this play as Greek, or as almost sort of Old Testament. It has a very parable-like quality that's trying to tell us something about who we are as humans and the duality that exists between love and heartbreak.
Good evening. Welcome. Welcome. Welcome to the table.
The table is specifically about a puppet named Moses who has an existential crisis on a table. Moses invites you into his world. His whole world is this table. And he starts to tell you the story of Moses of biblical fame, but he keeps getting sidetracked with questions about his own existence.
40 years. Stuck on this fucking table.
In the table, the puppeteers are as much a part of the show as Moses, the puppet on the table, is. And throughout all of it, throughout all of the kind of hijinks and the laughs, you see this complete devotion of these three puppeteers for this puppet and the intricacy of the movement and the life that they breathe into this inanimate object. It's really beautiful, and you can see how much it is a labor of love for them.
This season, UMS presents the 20th annual UMS Jazz Series, bringing to the calendar 5 distinct, diverse events ranging from time-honored favorites such as Jazz at Lincoln Center with Wynton Marsalis to experimental new music compositions by Steve Lehman and his octet. In early fall 2013, UMS is going to open up the dance floor by bringing Jason Moran's Fats Waller Dance Party to Ann Arbor. Jason is someone who is definitely concerned with the longevity of improvised music. He works tirelessly to find bridges to connect improvised music with modern day audiences who may listen to hip hop music, R&B, funk, or soul. The Fred Hirsch Trio continues the legacy of conversational jazz. That is, music that communicates between the players of a small ensemble, the piano, bass, and drums. I recently heard Fred Hirsch and his trio perform at the Village Vanguard in New York City. Hearing this music, to me, is the quintessential jazz. Fred brings his unique perspective to a composition, and you never hear the same thing twice. He's a true improviser and a true teacher for many artists of the current generation. In March of 2014, UMS is proud to present Jazz at Lincoln Center with Wynton Marsalis. Wynton Marsalis is certainly a global ambassador of America's classical music, jazz. Jazz at Lincoln Center Orchestra is an ensemble that brings the highest level of performance to big band repertoire and composition that you can hear anywhere in the world. Steve Lehman is a composer and saxophonist in the genres of jazz and experimental music. His music is absolutely astonishing. Instead of relying on traditional harmonies, Steve has explored computer-driven models to develop new harmonies based on spectral harmony. I'm sure it will influence artists decades from now who look back on this music as a seminal project.
Every year I'm reminded that the most devoted audiences that we have are the audiences that really love and show up for the St. Francis of Assisi choral vocal concerts. And we're happy that we will continue to present those concerts next season. We'll be having Chanticleer from San Francisco back, the all-male vocal ensemble. Their concert is going to be called She Said, He Said. And really that's just a framing for 400 years of music that look at the tension that exists between the genders.
We're very proud to be able to bring Chris Thile back to UMS after his debut with the Punch Brothers. Chris Thile is at a level where he wants to take the mandolin to places that it hasn't been before. And he's unique in that he has the virtuosity to do so. This concert will really strip down the music to its essence, to its core, and present Chris completely exposed, solo on stage, with just his mandolin and voice.
Sometimes when people go to a concert, all they want to do is have fun. And so I'm really excited to serve up one of the super fun nights in the concert hall with the Ukulele Orchestra of Great Britain.
I suppose I should say, good evening, ukuleles everywhere.
It's on fire. Don't touch me, I'm a real live wire.
Their sense of not only musicality, but what it means to have fun on stage, and really what it means to be a serious musician / comedian is really, really unparalleled. Audiences are going to love this group.
You start a conversation, you can't even finish it. You're talking a lot, but you're not saying anything.
We're excited to present our 135th season. Whether it's attending an event, giving your financial support, participating in our educational events, engaging with us online, or any of the many other interactions you may have with our organization, we thank you. It is you who makes UMS successful, which allows us to continue to improve the UMS experience for years and even generations to come. We can't wait for the season to begin. We invite you, as always, to be present.